Welcome back. We are still in Berlin Education and Research Conference, and I have Manuel Jaffrin on my right here. So, Manuel, why don't you tell us more about yourself and introduce us what you are doing at Sun?
Yeah, sure. No, thank you. My name is Manuel Jaffrin. I'm working for Sun now for 11 years. I'm based out in Barcelona in Spain, so a much warmer place than here, actually. So over the last 2 years, I've been working 8 years in the education research space at Sun, and in the last 2 years I moved to the web industry business for Sun. So I'm really covering every Web 2.0 company, web hosting business, cloud technology, from startup to more mature internet businesses. So I'm coordinating all our activities from business development to sales development and technical development ecosystem.
Okay, I mean, Web 2.0 is definitely your expertise area, and we have just watched your presentation. And I'd like to ask you, what is it that makes Web 2.0 possible? Is it the technology, the infrastructure, or is it the people who are changing their attitudes?
Yeah, I mean, Web 2.0, it's a mix of different things. So I would say that it started in 2002, 2003 with a set of new technology, RSS feeds, blogs, and Ajax, all of those things that made the internet much more attractive to non-technical people. So then suddenly, rather than having just technical people programming web pages, you get lots of people going on board and participating and contributing. So Web 2.0 is obviously a set of new technology that really enables the participation, but it's also a social phenomenon. The fact that suddenly you were empowered by all those technology to participate and not just be passive consumer of content or application. So really the Web 2.0 is this mix of a social evolution of people, that we want to participate, we just want to be passive, and a set of technology that really enables that change in the way we interact with the internet.
Yeah, so it's also about people.
Exactly, it's about people, about philosophy, and it created new ecosystem of new concept of developing applications. But the human factor of Web 2.0 is very important. We are talking about getting social, so really getting online and participating, connecting, collaborating, sharing. And this is where the human thing is really good at. So.
Yeah. And I mean, the challenge with the human is that humans change. And so do you think, like, everybody now speaks of Web 2.0, Facebook, MySpace. Do you think it could be also, like an internet boom that has happened in 2000? What is the
No, I mean, definitely there was and there is still a big hype, especially around the name, the branding Web 2.0. So everybody refers around Web 2.0. And I think that in the midterm and even, especially right now with the current context, the term Web 2.0 may disappear and may be transformed by just, social media, getting social, and this is not going to disappear. This has been an evolution of how we have been using the internet, how we have been using technology. But even if things will change in the future with technology, maybe with services, we are not going to start stopping using the internet. We are not going to stop collaborating with people. We are not going to stop sharing pictures. We are not going to stop participating in all that environment. So I really believe that the world Web 2.0 will disappear. The concept behind it, the ideas, the philosophy, the way people are using the internet is not going to disappear, and it's going to still. I mean, we see that right now. All the Web 2.0 type companies, social media, new media, e-commerce, gambling, gaming, they are all growing. Despite of the current economic context, people are not stopping to get online. It's even the opposite. I mean, some of them, they have even more time to be online and participate and communicate. So definitely the trend about getting social is not disappearing. I think we are just at the beginning of what we can do with social media.
So I mean, the key needs will not change, but maybe the tools will change.
Yeah, tools will evolve. There will be new technology. I mean, we talked today about cloud computing, which is the next generation of IT infrastructure that enables even to go to the next layer. Because today a lot of the Web 2 companies, they had to grow on older technology, and they have reached such a massive scale that they need something else to keep growing. And cloud computing is really answering this problem of scalability. So I believe that with the advance of cloud computing, we will even see even more services coming up, even more advanced, geolocation services and social interaction, mashups with very complex technology, and this will be enabled by cloud computing. So it could be an evolution, that will keep rolling, and I think that for a long, long time. So.
And talking about the next generation, what's the next thing that we're going to see? Maybe let's say in the upcoming 5 years. Some people talk about Web 3.0. Do we have Web 3.0?
I mean, some people already introduced the concept Web 3.0. Go to Wikipedia, you will see there is already definition. It's more about the semantic web, where you put much more context about where are you, what is in what context are you looking for that information, or why are you interacting. So, but I think the world will not, this world, Web 3.0 will not become mainstream as Web 2.0 became mainstream. So I don't think we will go on with those acronyms and numbers. Next big thing, obviously I spend lots of time with startups, with investors. If I had the magic answer, I would be myself an investor and I will try to really finance the next Google. But what I can tell you is different things. Obviously the mobile 2.0 ecosystem is growing a lot, because a phone, for example, is really a social device by excellence, because on your phone you have your friends, you communicate. So there is lots of startups now. Because now you have all those 3G connections, you have flat rates, so lots of companies are now providing much more applications for the phone. You can combine it with geolocalization. You have Google going into that space. So there is big market opportunity around the mobile 2.0 ecosystem. Everything around entertainment. Entertainment is still booming, especially the new generation. I mean, all the kids that have been playing with console and everything, they will keep on wanting to participate and play and access virtual worlds. So we see lots of good trends in virtual world technology, in entertainment, so MMOG, casual gaming, over the phone or over your desktop. So again, there is no magic ideas, but definitely there is plenty of opportunities that are built on top of what's existing today. So I don't, maybe there will be something brand new, but I think much more on new add-ons on existing services. And Facebook has created a great ecosystem of new application, new services. Twitter is doing the same. There is many companies that are right now creating the system. The iPhone obviously has created a new marketplace for developers to suddenly be able to make real business with small applications, but being able to reach the mass market. So.
Yeah, I mean, so you work a lot with the startups, and would you give us some examples of the startups that make you excited? When you heard about their ideas, you said, wow, this is going to be the big thing. Like, do you have some examples of that?
Yeah, I mean, I have a very good example actually. That when I joined that group at Sun, the web industry, one of my first trips was to Stockholm. They told me, you should meet this young company. They have a very interesting idea about streaming music and giving you free access and actually fighting against illegal download. And that's why I met Spotify very early on, and I immediately got excited. They got me into their beta program, and I got an invitation. I started to use it when they were still in a closed environment, and I got really excited about the possibility of that software. I mean, we see a lot also of again about the gaming. I mentioned about gaming. I saw some very innovative company, mixing virtual worlds, gaming, social network all together. And Tattoo in Belgium is very interesting in that space. We have seen lots of those emerging stuff. The challenge is you never know, if they are there at the right time, at the right moment, if they have the right execution of business model to really sustain their growth. But we keep seeing lots of those very innovative startups. And also in the technology, there is lots of startups going into the cloud with technology for cloud provisioning, so pure IT startups that actually will be very successful in the future to enable those new trends. So it really depends on what you are looking for. I like new media, so I tend to be very excited by new media startups. Other people will like IT startups, so that's what really gets me excited actually. So.
Yeah, I mean, as a last thing, since we are a student community, I'd like to ask your advices to people like who would like to start maybe their own company, because we also have students from business background, and for maybe students who are more interested in the technology. What are your advices for people who are interested in Web 2.0?
I mean, the key to success, I mean, what I really find in common among these communities really have an entrepreneurship mentality. You have ideas, but what really counts is that you meet the right people, you collaborate, and you bring the right ecosystem around you to execute your idea. So some of the advice would be really to participate in all the startup camp, the bar camp, the meetups that are happening. Get to know who is around you, who are the investor, the seed investor, other developers that may bring you lots of ideas around technology. Talk with other entrepreneurs to learn from their mistakes and all their success. And I think that it's very rare to find an entrepreneur that his first company is a flip. Usually people, they will explain their background, and you shouldn't be afraid to fail. I mean, that's very important. Failure in that market is actually a very good lesson, because you learn what you did do wrong, and it doesn't mean that because you fail once, even twice, that you are not going to be successful the third time. Many examples like this. And same things happen if you are successful. Don't, get crazy. Listen to Morten Lund, who was one of the investors in Skype. He lost a lot of money recently in Denmark. He's broke, but the guy didn't lose his energy and his motivation. He's going to start a new business. So these are really the main advice I would say. Be focused. Have a strong, ideas, but don't be closed. Open up yourself to really the community. Participate, the sale and get ideas and go for it, because you cannot anticipate in advance really if you will be successful. So don't wait for others to take your ideas. Just implement them and see if it works.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the interview. And